Welcome. This is David Parra with AARP in Arizona, and today we have our concluding show on this Facebook series on Social Security. Will it be there for me? We have been doing a lot, I would say, over the past months. Started in July, and this pilot, if you will, is coming to a close. And we wanted to do our last show, and it is called "What We Did and What We Learned." And with me today to do this final show is Alex Juarez. Alex obviously is my colleague, partner in crime, they say sometimes, right, Alex?
There you go.
Welcome to our show, Alex.
David, thank you so much. You've done a fantastic job with this Social Security pilot. We really appreciate you taking the horns, like you say, taking the horns from the bull there and running with it and getting some insights. And I think this will help us moving into 2022.
And the whole idea, Alex, and I'm sure all of you who have been following our show was to learn from future beneficiaries, those in their 30s, 40s, 50s, what they know of Social Security, how they think their parents and friends did with
Hmm.
retirement planning.
Yeah.
Why? Because the solvency of the program, though is not in an imminent danger, so to speak,
Hmm.
in the long run, it doesn't have the 75-year solvency that the law requires. And we definitely believe at AARP that this program is great. We need to strengthen it, and it definitely needs to be changed in some way, reform, if you will. And any reform will most likely affect more the younger generations, those not on Social Security currently. So that's why this pilot, we wanted to get those younger generations engaged in this topic because it's kind of dry. I don't believe it's dry, Alex. You know, I get so passionate when I talk about Social Security, but most people do believe it's a dry topic, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a lot of people don't consider this a sexy topic. Something
Right.
like a lot of meat and bone in it. But behind it, really does have a lot of information and things that we need to know that our younger generations need to know, and now in particular our generations because we will be retiring in hopefully less than 10 years.
Yeah.
So we need to know that Social Security has to be there for us when we retire. We must not depend on it 100%, but hey, we're paying for it, so it's not an entitlement. It's something that we're paying for it, so it's something that we need to get some interest behind it.
And you know, Alex, the last trustees report showed us that Social Security can pay 100% of benefits by
Hmm.
2033. Started in 2034, it can only
Yeah.
pay 76%. And
Hmm.
one out of every four household on Social Security depends on it for 90% of their income in retirement. So just these two figures really let us know how important this program is. And not only that, but Social Security really, it's like I always say, it's like a flag. It's flagging retirement because
Yeah.
it triggers decisions, right? It triggers
Yes.
your 401ks at work, whether there is a pension, what else do you need? Because Social Security, as you said, is a not it should not be the only source of income in retirement. It should only be like your 30%, maybe 40 at the most.
Mhm.
So you need another 60, 70% from other sources. That's why it's so critical because it helps you to look forward and to plan retirement. It's not something that is just going to happen. Anybody who doesn't really plan retirement, in addition to Social Security, is bound to live in poverty in retirement years, as many already do. So
Yeah.
it's definitely in our best interest to understand. Well, Alex, let's do a short show today. What we would like to do, basically, is to let folks know what we did and what we learned, because this obviously is going to continue, but we are doing the conclusion or the concluding show today. This is it for this year. And why don't we cover first, Alex, what we did? And this obviously applies to our Facebook page. So would you mind covering the first point?
Sure. So David took the initiative of creating a page particular for Social Security. That way we could get more conclusions out of it. He also has the AARP Arizona page where we monitor and get some gathering of information as well. But he did host 4 educational sessions, and we believe we reached somewhere in the neighborhood of 15,000 people with this, which is a decent sample, I think, because we did different age groups and within that. He did have 3 conversations for those ages 30 to 60. And within that group, we reached approximately 10,000 people on that one. And why is it important to have different age groups? Because we need to understand what the younger generations, what they understand about Social Security compared to those that are in their 50s and maybe 60s. So we did get some learnings that we will be talking about that a little bit further down the show. This Social Security group that David initiated gathered a group of 68 people that are following the page and have been commenting and providing some of the data and information as well. We also created a Social Security survey, and we did a total of 3 email blasts to I can't remember the number, but close to 30,000 emails, David, if I recall. But we got responses out of it, and we were able to gather some data from those from the Social Security survey as well. That was very useful. And then finally, we invited to participants for people to become advocates. That's a word that we use here in the AARP for those people that are involved in the legislative process that can help us influence, for example, legislation. If we're trying to pass something with the legislation in the Arizona legislation, people that can help us send emails that contact their representatives, their state senators, you name it. So those are called the e-advocates.
Yeah, and not too bad. I mean, we did also other things, right? We were not doing this full time, so I feel very satisfied with this effort, and we learn a lot. And we'll share with you in the next slides what we learned. But these are some of the things that we did on our own platform, Facebook page. Let me share with our audience, Alex, if you don't mind, what we did via external platforms, meaning other people's, other entities' platforms. And what we did is we used TV and Univision. We did 10 small videos. We also, on Univision Radio, did 600 spots on several radio stations. I believe they have 2, if I'm not mistaken. We did on Mega 104.3 here in Phoenix, a very famous station. I love their music, and I think a lot of people do also. We had a 582 spots run on that station. We also went to ABC 15 on Sonora Living. This is TV, but they also posted on Facebook, and also on ABC 15 on their Facebook page. We did a Facebook Live. That would be, let's see, we also did number 5, a magazine in Tucson. Is called Arizona Bilingual Magazine. We did a print ad. And I think we have one more here. Let me see. Yes, we did with Mari Rabago. She's very popular here in the States. She gets a lot of numbers, a lot of views. And so this is what we did, again, to explain some of the aspects of what the program is, and also to converse with future beneficiaries and invite them to take the survey and invite them to become e-advocates. If you notice, let me see, like on ABC 15, 27,000 views on their page, 5,000 reached on ours, because we also share their show on our page. Mari Rabago, 15,000 views on her page, 5,000 people reach. Even if the people did not stay for the whole show, which tends to happen, just the fact that these numbers, these thousands of people were made aware of what we're doing, I think is a good thing. So this is basically what we did both on our platform and others' platforms. very satisfied again. I think we did a lot in a short time, and with actually a small budget. I think we did have a small budget, and we were able to do a lot. So why don't we go on, Alex? And let's cover what we learned. I'll show the slides, and if you can kind of cover them because you were part of it. I mean, you and I held
Mhm.
conversations back and forth of everything that was going on. So why don't you cover those 4 points?
Absolutely. So the first one, targeting people in Facebook has changed. Facebook has evolved. Unfortunately, it's made it a little bit more difficult to target our Hispanic Latino community specifically by language or just you name it. It's been a little bit more difficult to target our audience in Facebook. So that's something that we have to keep in mind for future campaigns. What is the best way to reach them and to target the Latino audiences? We like to for more people to have joined this effort. Unfortunately, like we said, it's not a sexy type of subject, but we did get some e-advocates out of it, and hopefully people will start engaging more in the process, in the legislative process, because that is how we as Latinos will become more influential, whether we'll be able to create change as we see it in our Latino culture or in our community. So I think that is very important. I think Social Security is a type of topic that requires education and repetition until people get it, get the concept more, and they feel, well, you know what, that is something that I need to start looking into it because when I retire, I want it to be there for me. Knowledge based on Social Security in the younger generation is low, which we knew that that was probably going to happen, but that is something. It's a good opportunity, really, for the younger generation to start learning about the process of Social Security and that it's not an entitlement. They're paying for it. If they're working, money is being taken out of their paychecks to pay for that Social Security. So they have to get involved. They've got to become more knowledgeable about those. And then finally, those people that are with a higher education, it seems like it is a higher percentage of people that understand about the Social Security process, whether it's going to be there for them, how necessary is it for retirement, do they combine their 401k plans, other type of savings. It seems like the higher educated folks understand that process a little bit better, but that's why we're here. We need to educate our younger generations, and those that probably have not gone to college yet, but may be interested in the process as well.
And Alex, I'll cover the last points in just a bit, but on this point on number 4, it was very evident in my conversations with folks that joined the 3 conversations that I held. It was probably a total of I think a 6 to 8 people of younger generations. It was very evident that those with higher education, they understand retirement better, they understand Social Security better, and more importantly, they tend to work with employers that offer the options, and they obviously take advantage of them. So it's very a no-brainer. I think that knowledge and education is linked to better jobs, employment that offers opportunities to save for retirement. I think that was very evident. Let me cover the last points on what we learned during this process, this educational effort that we carry out. I'll show all the points, and then I will cover them one by one. I think there's one more. Let me see. Yes. Okay. Social media is the recommended platform to reach younger audiences. In the survey, we ask, what do you recommend that we use? What platforms to reach the younger audience? No brainer, social media. We also heard in our learning that employers should offer more talks on retirement. I mean, this also is a no-brainer. I think employers play an important role in educating their employees as to retirement as young as possible. Number 7, participation in retirement plans increased when employers offer retirement options. Hello, no brainer there. I think those folks that have jobs that does not have any options for retirement plans are those that are going to save the least, or that are going to be proactive in planning for retirement. But those that work for employers that offer your 401ks, pensions, and other types of plans, IRAs, Roth IRAs, etc., they will be those that will take advantage of them. Number 8, parents have an important role to play. We heard this from in our conversations, and I think we agree. I think our parents set examples. They could be good or they could be bad in terms of retirement preparation. Also, we heard that in the survey that most people believe that their parents or friends did the best they could with what they had, but
Right.
some also say that they can spot some missed opportunities. I think it's very obvious that that's the case. And last but not least, use Social Security as part of a broader conversation. In other words, like you say, Social Security is not sexy. So if you're going to reach the younger audiences, we are going to have to mix it with not necessarily a sexy topic, but a more robust, conversation on finances, for example, so that it's part of a bigger picture, finances for today, finances for the future. So this is basically what we did, and this is basically what we learned. Alex, your final comments. It was a good exercise, a good work that we did started in July. It now is November. We're ending this series. I think we did a lot and we learned a lot. Just your final thoughts on this.
Well, two comments on that slide, David. If you recall, we talked about how to reach the younger generations and what type of platforms. And we talked about you doing a musical video on TikTok. Remember?
Right.
that could be a way to reach our younger generation. We didn't try that out yet, but that's still a possibility there of you performing. And then second, work and save. Notice that AARP is here in Arizona is working on a project that's called Work and Save. That we're discussing this with the legislators, with the treasurer's office, and hopefully it may be a 2-year, 3-year plan, but where employers will be able to offer a retirement plan, like a small businesses that can offer a 401k, kind of similar to that program where people are able to save some money for retirement. So be on the lookout for that in the next in 2022 and beyond. And just to end it, go ahead, David.
No, go ahead. Finish it. Finish your
I was
thought.
just going to say, just to end it, in the Social Security program, very pleased with the results. The work that you did, David, was it was great work, really passionate. You are a very passionate individual on topics such as Medicare, Social Security. You inform the public, you educate them, and you involve them. You make them participate. So that's what the platform of AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection, is all about. So thank you for the work you've done on this.
You're welcome, Alex, and thank you for being my partner in crime. I just want to say that I am very pleased with the volume of work that we were able to do in such a short time. I mean, July to November, I think it's 5 months. We did not have a robust budget. We did a lot with what we had. Very pleased, very satisfied with what we did and what we learned. And stay tuned. Though we are ending with this show, this Facebook series, this pilot on engaging younger generations on Social Security, be sure that we'll come back next year with perhaps a different type of programming. But Social Security is such an important program, and we need to make sure that it is strengthened. So again, thank you, Alex, and thank you all for joining us, especially those that follow our series. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more topics in perhaps a different form on Social Security. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.